Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, and I'm very excited for, as back on the ladder, it is SharpenedEdge. A very good Protoss bot. And I'm glad to see that it's back on the ladder, crushing some nerds bots, I guess. And then on the other side of the map, we have got the newer but improving WickedBot. And so we'll see how WickedBot can handle a very solid bot like SharpenedEdge. And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure to go ahead, click that like button if you haven't already. If we can hit, let's just go for 50 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more bots. I know it's goofy, but it does help us with the YouTube bot, the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also join the Discord, which is linked down below. I might do a viewer tournament at some point in the future here, so if you want to get involved in that. We see some very effective harassment from the probe of SharpenedEdge, WickedBot falling victim to that. And now is going to be a good test for WickedBot. I apologize, I had my alarm on still. I'm still coming over the jet lag a little bit, so woke up at like 5-ish a.m. this morning. But anyway, yes, WickedBot having a big delay in the sense that its racks wasn't resumed until now, and so that's a little bit goofy. It does eventually solve that issue, but this really does highlight how effective something as simple as programming your probe to actually attack your opponent's workers is, because it requires a definitive response. As WickedBot does seem to have some behavior to repair injured SCVs, which is good. I'm guessing the other one was just too far away from that repair zone. The Marine now pops out, will end this probe's reign of terror, which is good, but there definitely was a lot of lost mining time. And then just the delay on that initial racks was quite significant. So well done by SharpenedEdge. My apologies about the chaos with the alarm going off and all that other stuff. Okay, I think I've got that off for good now. Hopefully it doesn't go off again. Anyway, yeah, I think my intro got a little interrupted there by the probe harassment, and so. Yeah, just join the Discord if you want to potentially get involved in a viewer tournament. And yeah, just big thanks to everyone that does support the channel via the YouTube membership program. It goes a long way. And yes, let's see here, as we do have SharpenedEdge just producing some gateway units. It's got its natural base up and mining, a healthy worker lead. If we take a look, currently 29 probes to 23 SCVs. I'd say that's maybe like a couple more than the Protoss is usually in the lead. Usually Protoss does have a slight worker lead compared to Terran, but I think this might be slightly bigger than usual. But still, nothing too crazy that WickedBot can't potentially overcome. One of the things about SharpenedEdge is that it does like to play with gateway units. As we see, it's just made a couple of zealots, a couple of stalkers. They're just hanging out. And gateway units are good. However, stimmed bio is arguably better, depending on the micro and the level of support those units have, like whether there's medivacs or +1 attack, that kind of thing. And that is what WickedBot is heading into here. It's already got stim pack almost done, and there is a starport on the way with a reactor going to join that soon. And so I think we will probably see a bio attack heading towards SharpenedEdge, and that could be very, very strong, as the units that WickedBot is making are simply better. Better at least until SharpenedEdge gets Blink, but even with Blink, like, Stim Bio is still pretty good against Blink Stalkers. There's a reason why when you watch a pro game, the stalkers have to be, say, positioned outside your opponent's base to intercept the Terran's push, to force out those stims, to pick off the odd unit here and there. But still, when things sort of come to a head, there is just bio just wins out against blink stalkers, because eventually the stalkers get cornered or they have to make a stand on a base, that kind of thing. Now, we do have a third base on the way for WickedBot. Same with SharpenedEdge. SharpenedEdge is much quicker, but that's to be expected. And then, yeah, I think it's just really all going to be on how successful this attack is. We've got one Medivac out. We'll see. The second Medivac could be the condition that WickedBot waits for before it attacks. We do have this Medivac healing up some of these units, although it keeps getting move commands, so gets interrupted a little bit there. But there we go. 2 Medivacs out is what WickedBot wants before it goes for the attack. Combat shield will be done in time as well, which is very important. SharpenedEdge has got 7 Zealots, 6 Stalkers. Now, these Zealots, they don't have charge yet, so they're going to have a very difficult time connecting with this bio, because presumably WickedBot will just stutter step away from those, hopefully for its sake. Now, WickedBot is moving in. The poor Marine at the front leads the charge, however, it does kite back. The Zealots now are just being absorbed by that bio as they retreat, preventing them getting on top of this, and now the bio stims once more. A few more Zealots are warped into buffer for SharpenedEdge, but the Stalkers are now taking damage. There is Blink, but we're seeing like Blink only does so much good, and I'm not sure there was even that much Blink going on for SharpenedEdge, but yeah, the red Protoss bot is in a lot of trouble. We are seeing a probe pull to try and save the day, but the bio simply kites back, absorbs those probes. The only potential saving grace here for SharpenedEdge is going to be this Colossus that is on the way out. And the Colossi does pop out, should have some good stutter step micro. Getting good swipes off, killing off those injured Marauders is very big. And so SharpenedEdge does end up forcing WickedBot back, which is very, very important. We do still have a bit of the old-fashioned WickedBot derpy Medivac micro, so some things do never change. But yes, that was a good attack from WickedBot. We can see in that the Terran is now even on workers compared to the Protoss, and then has been producing units behind this whole time. So there's already going to be another attack getting ready to go. The timings might not be the best for WickedBot here, though, as we do have 1-1 about to finish up, but it's not quite done, whereas SharpenedEdge just finished up its attack upgrade. So SharpenedEdge does have an upgrade lead for now. There's also charge on those Zealots, meaning that they are more difficult to handle. There's a bit of a choke point here. It's tough to say which bot this favors more. Seems like it does. I mean, it kind of just works out well for SharpenedEdge, as its army is currently better. The Stalkers are blinking around. A second Colossus comes forward. That's quite problematic for WickedBot. We do have WickedBot getting a 4th base up. It is trying to morph into a planetary, which could definitely help out, as SharpenedEdge may be overextending here a little bit, as reinforcements are slow to come here. So now the Marauders are stimming after these Colossi, and they're doing a good job of that. There is sentries for SharpenedEdge. However, they don't actually use any spells, no force fields, anything like that. One of the Colossi does go down. The other is quite injured. Can Marauders finish it off? Yes, they can. So that is very nice for WickedBot to reset that Colossi count to get this 4th base up, as SharpenedEdge is only on 3 bases still. We do have WickedBot also building up a 5th command center, getting 2-2 on the way. So WickedBot does have an upgrade lead in the sense that it does have both the armor and attack. SharpenedEdge just has the +1 attack. But still, SharpenedEdge is going to try and get something more done here as it pushes forward. However, there's a planetary. So there's kind of a point that it won't be able to push past. Now, WickedBot is just having to hang out around this planetary. It is producing as many units as it can. The army supply is not that great, as a lot's caught up in production, but the planetary shall never be broken. We'll see if SharpenedEdge can maybe bypass that planetary. This Immortal is killing some Marauders very successfully. And let's see, WickedBot having its 5th command center be delayed a little bit. However, it should be finished up, and it is. It can now lift off and maybe fly to freedom. The planetary is holding the line for now. More bio units are coming out for WickedBot, but WickedBot does seem to be having a difficult time to get up enough production in order to force SharpenedEdge back. We do have some medivacs supporting this little bit of bio here. In fact, there's actually way too many medivacs here for WickedBot, as it's got 10 out. So more than one for each bio unit, but I mean, that's a lot of healing action, so it definitely will help out. Things will get better for WickedBot once this 2-2 upgrades are done. We do have SharpenedEdge getting up its 4th base as well, so this game isn't necessarily going to end with SharpenedEdge's attack not finishing the job. The sentries are a bit odd for SharpenedEdge, not using the spells. They are getting some nice kills, though, as this planetary is in a bit of trouble. We've got WickedBot trying to go down the center here to handle this. It probably will grab another Colossi with these nice Marauders, but at the same time, this PF could die. SCVs are trying to be heroes and repair this planetary. They will be able to repair it a little bit to keep it alive. It seems like it, and so that is really, really nice for WickedBot to keep that 5th base alive. We don't have a 6th base on the way yet, but still, keeping that 5th up is so, so nice. We do have 2-2 now for WickedBot. Same thing for SharpenedEdge, just it's only got the attack, no armor upgrades. And we do also have Ghosts on the way now for WickedBot. So heading into that Terran sort of terrifying late game, we'll see how well it uses EMPs potentially against the Protoss. But for now, the Protoss could be in a bit of trouble. The Bio Ball is quite significant. There's tons of medivacs to support. The upgrades are good. There is one more Colossus out. However, it just popped out, and by the time it rolls up, all the buffer is going to be dead. So SharpenedEdge is in quite a bit of trouble here. Zealots do move forward to try and help buffer. Probes are buffering as well. This Colossi, though, needs to kite back against these Marauders, but it doesn't. And so it does go down as a result. And I think WickedBot may have been able to seal this one. As, yeah, just very good bio control. And being able to take down SharpenedEdge. I do think SharpenedEdge's composition might not have been the best. Like, I mean, like, you can definitely make things work with Zealots, Stalkers, and Colossi, but I guess it just took too much damage in that initial attack. No shield battery or anything like that to help defend. And then also just that, like, for example, the sentries, they didn't really do anything. I'm not sure we saw a single sentry spell used that game, which is not an efficient use of resources. So yeah, really well done by WickedBot. Kills the natural. There is one Colossi still causing problems, but it's barely killing these units, seeing as how there's so many medivacs to heal this up. Maybe I spoke too soon, as 2 Colossi can get lots of work done, and maybe WickedBot will be pushed back, but SharpenedEdge, it's on 27 probes. Production is being interrupted with these pylons going down, and the Marauders just are not dying, thanks to the medivacs non-stop healing. Colossi really trying to get something done here. Looks like WickedBot does get pushed away, unloads a Marauder at that Nexus, and yeah, WickedBot will take this one. It might take another minute before some reinforcements come across the map, but yeah, it is good to see that WickedBot is kind of rising to the challenge here of taking on sort of older but very solid bots like SharpenedEdge. I'm very glad that SharpenedEdge is back on the ladder too, as it is a staple in the bot scene. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this one and you've watched until the very end, click that like button, leave a comment down below saying more bots, that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know, write your grocery list in the comment section. I gotta go get groceries after not not having any food in the fridge since I was gone for a month. You come home, you open the fridge, and it's like, oh, there's nothing to eat. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, thanks everyone for tuning on in, and we'll just wait for WickedBot to clean this one up. SharpenedEdge is trying to rebuild, so great redundancy, getting more Nexi on the way. Nexi, but it's not meant to be. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between these two. GG.